Today, I want to teach you about the somatic practice that truly saved my life. I'll tell you the story about it, and I'll actually teach you how to do it today. The practice I want to teach you is called pendulation. Now, this term was coined by Dr. Peter Levine, who developed somatic experiencing, which is what I am trained in. It's a branch of somatic psychology that teaches people how to relate to big activating sensations in the body and help metabolize, process, spread them, and integrate them through the body so they stop affecting you in negative ways. What I love about somatic experiencing is it really teaches you how to create a relationship to your body. And for me, it has proven to me that the animal body, as I like to call it, is a sovereign being. It's not me. It's this beautiful creature I get to ride around with. So doing somatic practices and continuing practicing them every day of my life has helped me increase my trust and my connection with my body as if it's another being, because to me it is. And so what I want to talk about today is pendulation. Now, like I said, Dr. Peter Levine coined this term because the body naturally pendulates, meaning it kind of orients within itself to places that have more tension and less tension and able to modulate in order to modulate and find some balance, find some safety, find some equilibrium, what a lot of us call regulate. But what I find really interesting is you can actively pendulate, which will prompt natural pendulation and modulation and regulation as well. Before I teach you how to pendulate, I want to give you my personal history of why pendulation was literally life-changing for me. I had so much stress and anxiety from PTSD, which I had for most of my life, undiagnosed, that I would have fainting spells. I would have what's called a vasovagal response, where the vagus nerve gets so overwhelmed with charge and electricity that the brain actually shuts down to reset and get a break. And this happens through fainting. I would have these spells where I would get very overwhelmed and suddenly I would pass out, or I would feel like I was about to pass out. And this happened several times throughout my life, and it was really scary. I would have to go to the hospital. I'd be on IVs. After a couple days, I'd be fine to leave, but I'd be really exhausted for weeks afterwards. I think at the time, had I been seeing a doctor that understood these things, not only would I have been diagnosed with PTSD, but I think I would have been diagnosed with chronic fatigue, because when I would start to walk or do anything a few days after these spells, I would be so exhausted and feverish and completely wiped out. And this would go on for months. Then I would finally regain myself, and then it would happen again. Now, what I came to learn from studying somatic experiencing was this phenomenon of pendulation, which is where the body orients within itself to resourcing so you don't get stuck in the charge. What tends to happen to us is we have what's called the vortex, the point of angst or anxiety in the body. Let's say there's all this pressure building up in my chest. Before I understood pendulation, I would just be orienting toward the pleasure in my chest. And more than orienting to it, I'd be resisting it. There'd be tension building up. I'd be trying to get distracted from it. I'd be thinking horrible thoughts of what's going to happen. Am I going to pass out? What's wrong with me? Oh no, this again. And all this would be building up more activation and just increasing the discomfort and the pressure in my chest until it got to the point where it couldn't go anywhere else and got so big that I would pass out or have to lie down because I felt like I was about to pass out. And then I'd be incapacitated for days or weeks. I would even, like I said, get fevers and get very ill. I couldn't go out to see people. I developed social anxiety. I nearly became agoraphobic, where I literally couldn't leave the house for months. If I started to go into the street or out into society, I would be met with this massive, overwhelming sensation. I'd feel like I was getting a fever. I'd feel like I was going to pass out. I wouldn't be able to even feel my legs. They get wobbly, and I'd have to go back home, and then it would eventually settle. So I managed this by avoiding life, because life is inherently activating. So if I could avoid activation entirely, I could manage this and not pass out and not get sick. But anyone who knows what I'm talking about knows how unsustainable that is. You can't avoid life. We can try, but it's not very possible. And for me, it was extremely limiting, very isolating and lonely, and not very pleasurable. There was a lot of fear in that avoidance, even though my home was this incredible safe space where I got to make art and research and learn and speak to people from the phone. I was limited to a place where I couldn't go beyond that, and that lacked pleasure for me. I wanted more. I wanted to experience and spread more, and I wanted to feel safe. So pendulation saved my life. And I remember working through this and being able to go do things, I started eating differently. I started having more balancing foods. So I was less charged because my diet was creating less adrenaline. I wasn't smoking cigarettes anymore. I wasn't drinking caffeine anymore. All of which I was doing when I was having these fainting spells because they were increasing my activation, which already existed from childhood. So when your baseline is already activated, any increase in activation or stimulation is just going to put you more into overwhelm. That makes sense, right? So I'm at the beach with my wife, and it's glorious experience we're having in the fall with all these beautiful Victorian homes. It was like a little witch's fantasy. And I was outside of this shop that sold angel decks, and she was in there looking at some and crystals and such. And I went outside because I felt the feeling come up. I felt the activation rising. And what I did this time, which I never did in the past, I sat down and I pendulated. I noticed there's all this charge in my shoulder, in my neck, in my face, where I feel like I'm going to pass out, but my legs are completely fine. My hips are fine. Even my belly is fine. But I'm orienting to the charge in my head. So I did what I'm about to teach you. I pendulated, I swung between these two different states. And as if you're dipping into different colors of paint on a canvas and pulling them together, the sensations start to mix and transmute and they become something new. And in that moment, that happened for me. Some of the activation went down to my legs, which had way more space for it. And some of the space went up to the activation where all this tension was. And my body found its equilibrium. I took a breath and I settled. And from that day till this day, I haven't had any panic attacks. I've had 2 experiences of feeling anxious, and then I pendulated and settled, and it transmuted. And we're talking a decade. Yeah, almost a decade exactly, maybe a little more than 10 years. That's profound for me. I used to have several panic attacks a day, and I was riddled with anxiety all day long because I only knew how to orient toward the anxiety. I didn't know how to find other places in my body that were safe. So I'm going to do something I haven't done before. I'm going to walk you through a practice that I usually only teach in my course, my 7-week course, which is coming up on Monday, October 6th. So if you want to dive into the course and get all my practices and philosophies and own them, because anyone that takes the course owns them afterwards, please visit holisticlifenavigation.com and click the course or click on the link in these episode details. So the thing I want you to do here is to sit down and get really comfortable and especially let your head be held or lie on the ground. So pause me if you need some time to do that. Step 1, check in with your body and find one place that's tense or numb and one place that's soft, and place your hand on each spot. So start with the place that's tense or numb, put your hand there, and then track and notice a place that's okay, that's settled, that's neutral, put your other hand there. I'll give you 20 seconds. Step 2, beginning with the tense or numb place with your hand, give it a little pressure and breathe into that place. And just give it your attention for 5 seconds. Then move your attention to where the other hand is, the place that's softer or more neutral or completely open. And take a breath into that place, give it a little pressure with your hand, give it 5 seconds or so of your attention. We're going to do this 2 more times. So swing back to the place that's tense, give it your attention, breathe into it. And then go to the place that's less tense, the place that's more open, more neutral. Give it some pressure and breathe into that. Now this time, last round, do this with your eyes open. Look around the room wherever you are, or look up if you're laying back, and bring your attention to the place that's more tense. Give it a little pressure with your hand while you're taking in where you are. And just take a breath and ask this part if it wants to move you a certain way, if it has any words, any emotions, just get a sense of that. And then finally, move your attention to the place that's more open, more soft, easier to be with. Give it a little pressure with your hand. Keep your eyes open, take in the space. See if you can deepen this sensation with the space. meaning take in something beautiful, take in something lovely, and let this place that already feels more open connect to this other thing that's lovely or opening. Then drop your hands, move your shoulders, look around the room a little bit, maybe stretch, sit up if you're lying down, whatever your body wants to do. But notice what you're feeling in the tense or numb places. Did anything shift? Did anything grow? Did anything change? I've heard everything and I've experienced everything from the tension moved to another place in the body. Great. The tension stayed the same. Great. The tension increased and got bigger and turned into an emotion. Great. The tension completely dissolved and now there's peace. Beautiful. The tension went numb. I feel nothing. My body isn't even here. It happens. The reason why I'm saying great to nearly everything here is because somatic practices, the way I teach them, are not meant to give you an expected outcome. They're meant to teach you how to relate to your body and then wait to see how your body responds. You can't always make your body calm down or feel better. But with pendulation, you can at least acknowledge there's a place in me that already feels good. There's a place in me that already feels safe. So even if the anxiety or the pressure or the grief that I'm also working with doesn't budge, I still have access to this other place. Pendulation for me has helped me not bypass my multi-layered contradictory self, meaning there's peace in my chest, there's pain in my face. And that has also kept me from bypassing the world's multidimensional contradictory truths. There's pain over there, there's pleasure over there. There's suffering there, there's beauty there. Pendulation helps us live a lifestyle and create a perception that doesn't bypass beauty or pain, that doesn't bypass good or bad. It lets it all start to live in the same place, which lets us transmute this stuff, which lets us compost this stuff. And my 7-week course will teach you how and so much more. So please click the link in my episode details if you want to join, or go to holisticlifenavigation.com and check out the course. If you can't join this 7-week course, I'm teaching the next one a year from now in October 2026. You can go on my website and click on my self-led course. That is a way you can learn some of this. It's an abridged version of the 7-week course on your own. I look forward to seeing you in some space somewhere in the future. And for now, I hope this practice serves you. Let me know in the comments any questions you have or even what you noticed from doing it. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching today's episode. Please like and subscribe if you found it useful, and let me know in the comments what you want me to cover next. I have developed a 4-week self-paced course that takes 18 years of my personal and professional experience and puts it into one place where you can easily and quickly learn the foundations of recovering from stress and trauma. How does the food you eat affect your stress levels? How do the relationships in your life create stress or peace? How does the relationship you have with your body allow you to feel happier and more settled? I will cover all this and so much more in this 4-week self-paced course. And the best part, it's self-paced. You don't have to sign up at a certain date or finish it at a certain time. It's yours for life, and it's waiting there for you when you're ready to finish it. Throughout this course, I'll be teaching you philosophies and practices that combine my 3 favorite modalities: somatic experiencing, embodied parts work, and nutrition. For more information on this course, click on the link in my episode details.